Hi, this is Roshane, and this is a guide to clinical counselor in British Columbia. So let's start with what is a clinical counselor? A clinical counselor is a trained professional that supports an individual that explores difficulties and challenges throughout their lives. So what do they do? They professionally train to solve mental health problems and provide guidance, support, and assistance to people facing psychological and emotional challenges. And as a counselor, of course, we want to help people. So here's our clients that we will most likely will be studying or helping. So let's start with rehabilitation. So these people are recovering from physical injuries, illnesses, and disability. S- Clinical counselors help these clients most to regain functionality, independence, and emotional well being. And the second one is addiction. These clients suffers from substance abuse or behavioral addiction. They also struggle from keeping themselves away from illegal substances. And counselors focuses in addressing to the underlying issues that contribute to addiction and facilitating recovery. And the next one is marriage. So couples who seeks counseling due to relationship issues and struggles. So the counselors focuses to train them in their communication, resolving their conflicts, and strengthening their relationship. And the next one is kind of the same as marriage. So this one is a family disorder. These people who are experiencing on having an unstable family, a family that has constant conflict and many challenges. So counselors resolve this by also addressing the issue, improving communication within the family, and strengthen the family bonds with each other. And the last one is trauma. So these individuals experience traumatic events, and counselors help these clients to process and cope with effects of the traumatic events that was inflicted to them. Counselors also offers resilience and healing to these clients. And the next one is the education in British Columbia. So the path to becoming a clinical counselor is to start with bachelor's degree. And here are the well-known university in British Columbia that offer bachelor's degree. So we have it in Capilano University, which I am currently in. And we also have SFU, UBC, UVic, and KPU. And earning a bachelor's degree opens up various careers, paths, and opportunities. Although by only having a bachelor's degree in psychology, you may not be qualified for some certain jobs, such as counseling or therapy, due to the needs for you to be in an advanced degree, such as master's or doctoral degree. Although it does provide foundations such as human resources, social services, marketing, administrative roles, research assistance, customer service, and correction offices. officers, I mean, sorry. You can also use those jobs to require experience because having experience would most likely qualify you to build up experiences while pursuing the bachelor's degree. Moving on is the master degree where you can get license in this area. And this is also for those who are committed to pursuing counseling. This is for you to gain extra knowledge in a particular area of psychology. Is often a requirement for obtaining licensure to practice as a counselor or a clinical counselor. And for the doctoral, it is not really required, but it can also be useful due to the openings of new opportunities for you to become a clinical uh, counselors. Can also be continued only if they choose to pursue research-based psychology. And the next slide is the skills. So these skills will um, make you learn on how to become a better clinical counselors. So the first one is active listening. And this one is paying attention to what the clients are saying. This demonstrates empathy and understanding from a client's perspective. It also creates trust, therapeutic relationship between a counselor and a client. And this can also be good for the client and gain trust, and it would make the client to be more open to you. Social perspectiveness, being aware of other people's reaction and understanding social cues. This skill deepens the understanding of a client's emotions, behavior, and interpersonal dynamics. And the next one, we have speaking skills. This shows how effective it is to convey information and ideas to the clients in a clear and non-passive aggressive manner. With a clear way of speaking, clients would understand more about providing guidance, explaining concepts, and having a clear discussion with the client. Critical thinking. This skill helps clinical counselors to analyze information, access situations, and assess situations and make informed decisions. And the next one is reading comprehension. So this is a skill that is good with understanding of written information such as documents about psychological theories, research, and their treatment approach to the client. And we also have service oriented, the willingness and commitment to help and support others is an important skill to have as a clinical counselor because it focuses on their well-being. It focuses on the client's well-being and their growth as a person. Without this, people's lives are at stake because having not to care about your client only lead them to would only inflict pain to them. So if you don't have this, I would advise you not to become a clinical counseling because it's an important job to most of people around the world, not even in British Columbia. So the other one is monitoring. This is also one of a good skill of clinical counselor to maintain and show progress the client's behavior during the session. This is also to determine the effectiveness of the strateg- strategies that were applied to the client. And the next one is writing. This could also help counselors help other counselors to write their records of their clients. And the next one is judgment and decision making. These skills guide counselor to assess, the client's needs and ethical consideration. It also helps the counselors develop an appropriate treatment and intervention for the client. And the next one is coordination. Having to work with other professionals to help clients provide more resources and services. These skills helps many clinical counselors contribute to the world of psychology by assisting others to navigate challenges and achieve more positive incomes of the clients. And the next one is the expectation of the clients to the registered clinical counselors. And as we mentioned on slide 5, the required skills that we have to learn while learning about counseling. And since we are working with people, it would be a little difficult. So it would be better that those skills in slide 5 is always applied in every client you a clinical counselor could take. And the other one is sessions must be structured with a clear start and clear outcomes, which address the concerns and go to the process of potential resolutions. And we also have must be informed about consents and mutually agreed on the plans and goals of the session. And details on the benefits, risk, and potential outcome of the session. Clinical counseling should also demonstrate the appropriate boundaries, which offers a safe and confidential environment. Also, understanding the emotion of a client, because that's all the clients need to for the for them to apply for therapy or counseling. In slide 7, the next slide is the duties of clinical counseling. They prioritize the well-being of the clients, work with clients to gather relevant information that will support the overall goals and outcomes of clinical counseling. engaging in ongoing evaluative process of the client's experience and the therapeutic course of care. Collabor- Collaborate with clients to acquire information for overarching objectives. Keeping on track on the process of sessions, apply secure and effective procedure for the clients to be engaged throughout the session. Practice safe and effective use of self throughout the clinical counseling process and understanding the standard practices and code of ethics. So here are the potential job titles you could earn by having a degree in counseling. There are numerous pathways available, and it's important to consider the specific type of counseling you would like to specialize in, as well as the various settings where counselors can work. So some counselors work in a private space such as their own clinics, or they work for a group of clinics. Other work other workplace you can also do is at a community base such as school, hospitals, university, or at a court. The workplace of a clinical counselor could be in many places, such as also in offices, facilities like group homes, healthcare centers, and rehabilitation centers. There are also an online option due to the change during the COVID-19 times. You will also be incorporated computers for record keeping and administrative duties to keep records of the clients, to study them and apply treatment to the clients. So this is the estimated salary of a clinical psychologist. So you start with 20 per hour, and then it would go up as you evolve into another work of or a higher work of counseling or clinical counseling. So this is the employment percentage of counselors. So currently it's estimated that there are 4,800 workers that are employed, and 45% are full-time. It's really low right now, but the demand will go higher as people will be more aware about mental health. And also in BC, and according to the BC Labor Outlook, there is an annual 10-year projection that anticipate the supply and demand for labor in the province. It's also, its purpose is to offer British Columbians and the information needed to make well-informed choices regarding career, skill training, education, and hiring. So therefore, as a psychology and mental health issues have been looked into by many people. The demand for this job will increase. As it increases, its demands for job openings. Many people will join psychology as a major. Thus, the education for this will increase and expand as a major. As awareness and understanding of psychology and mental health continue to grow, the demand for professionals in this field is expected to increase. This rising demand is likely to lead to more job openings and opportunities for individuals who have a background in psychology. So, as a result, there will be an increase in the interest, as you can see here. The prediction in 2027 to 2032, there will be an increase of job openings. And so, as a result, there will be an increase in interest and enrollment in psychology majors, leading to educational programs and resources to meet the growing demand for trained professionals in mental health and counseling. Thus, this will reflect on a broader societal recognition of the importance of mental health and crucial role that counselors and psychologists will continue to play in studying the issue of mental health. So this is my reference. For more information about the programs will be in the education planner, about the schools and their admission requirements. To know more about the clinical counselors is this reference above here. Yeah, so thank you for listening. Bye bye.